Hello, happy full moon Sunday. Don't know if any of you joined me last night. It's fine if you didn't. A lot of people like to do things with their weekends. I'm dressed a little bit more casual only because I like to relax a little bit on Sundays. Last night we did a flower mandala, and I actually just gathered flowers from my garden so auspiciously. The flowers that grow in my garden happen to be all the colors of the rainbow chakra up and down your spine in this power grid from your root chakra, your tailbone, all the way up through your crown that sits just on your head. There's way more than 7 chakras, by the way, but we stick to the 7 for now because the other stuff's pretty advanced. Since I'm doing 2 moon ceremonies or rituals for full moon, last night I like to do the flower mandala or crystal grid work to charge my crystals at the tippy top height of when the full moon comes to blossom. We had a strawberry full moon last night. But in the mornings, because you have up to 48 hours to reap the benefits of the full moon, I like to supercharge my bodily intentions by drinking the really good shakes, making sure my body's set right with the right pH water. I took a walk in the park with my dog, grounded, took my shoes off. When you separate the rubber from the soles of your feet and put your feet directly on the earth, negative ions get released from the earth into your feet, and that creates antioxidants to combat the oxidants, the free radicals in your body. And yeah, you literally feel more calm, collected. You can feel the serotonin release. I feel it all up and down my body, my center column, my spine, in the back of my throat. I get these tinglies up through my crown. It's beautiful. You can feel the serotonin release when you're more attuned with your body. It's amazing. Highly recommend grounding and earthing. There's a free documentary on YouTube called Earthing, about a couple that helped their little daughter that had all sorts of complications and autoimmune problems heal herself just by putting her feet in the soil and in the grass. That seems a little too woo-woo experimental for you. Do it in your garden. Do it with your hands. Take your shoes off. Try to do it for 10. Ideally, it's 30 to 40 minutes, but 10, you're good. Morning rituals. Okay, I wanted to start off. We did a card deck spread too. So if you haven't watched it, I think I need to retitle it. It's just a Stephanie Compassion Bite. It's the June 2nd. Was it June 2nd? No, yesterday was June 3rd. Yes. You do Saturday last night's, and it'll show you the card spread I pulled. I pulled from the Rose Oracle deck because if you didn't know, roses are the highest vibrational smells that you could have on this planet, if not beings, from an energy frequency emission. Really high up there. And I love the smell of rose, don't you? So I actually put on some Dream Moon scent from Pacifica, which is patchouli, pink rose. I think there's sandalwood in this. I love the scent. I'm a big scent oriented. I leave kind of sometimes by my nose. Maybe that's why I was always kind of 15, 20 pounds overweight, because I love to eat. Because I lead with my nose, like smelling things like, hey, wow, that's good. We will have our sister, Cartedius from Yawa Spa Yoga 111 on Instagram, join us to tell her morning ritual with sea moss. I wanted to expand a little bit on when I started talking about pH levels. You can get this pH water at Costco, depending on how acidic or alkaline you need your body to get. And that's also depending on what you're planning to eat later in the day. There's a pH balance for that. Costco sells the alkaline water at pH 9.5. It's good for bones. It's good for, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, all these things I'm working on. Vegan diet is great for high cholesterol. I found out, and I have good high cholesterol because I've been working out all year. It doesn't matter. It still clogs your arteries the same. So number one recommendation from my doctor, which finally pushed me to be vegan, was no meat, dairy, milk, cut it all out. I feel much better, by the way. I don't have brain fog or lightheaded dizziness. The pain and the cracking in my knees is very quickly going away. So there's something to this, y'all. I'm not saying be a purist vegan and just be like, use it as a boundary protector, saying, I'm putting my foot down on the ground and everyone else is not vegan sucks. No, like if you put a really good Argentinian steak in front of me, my mom's from Argentina, by the way, the land of the happy, delicious cow. I would probably eat it, but it'd probably be once every 3 or 4 months. So I'm like 95% vegan. This might be controversial already because I'm saying I'm 95. It's like, well, you're not vegan. Well, you know what? I'm trying. I'm not perfect. How about that? I am a soul being living a human experience. And I think it makes it more accessible to people that are thinking about eating vegan for health reasons, to think about it in this way, to be more gentle. I was holding this up. This is a packet of sea moss my wonderful roommate Cartedius made for me. She gives me these little gift packets. She sometimes leaves them on my bed. I do similar things for her, whether it's like colloidal silver stuff that's really good for healing scars and stuff. This stuff in a shot, let it simmer for 24 hours. Not simmer, but steep. Put hot water, then put it in the fridge with some sea moss. This sea moss is the real deal because she actually knows the growers from Jamaica, local, organic grown, shipped directly to her. She gives me this, and she also sells it to all of her clients. A cold shot of this with a little bit of lime juice. It smells a little bit like, marine life. Doesn't taste as strong as it smells, but it is such a great shot in the morning. And then I like to follow it up with lemon water. And this is a good hack. If you need, for whatever reason, to be a little bit acidic in your body for a day, say you're going to eat pasta and a lot of heavy carbs, get this. Apple cider vinegar or lemon water. Lemon is so delicious. It's good for when you're doing some really crazy workouts like I do Kung Fu. Really good for the days you're going to eat carbs. You need carbs because maybe you're doing a crazy strenuous workout, whatever. This will reduce the storage of glucose, the fat that it gets converted to fat in your body. It'll reduce the storage of that up to 30%. So if you know you're going to eat carbs or something really heavy, start out with lemon water or apple cider vinegar in your water in the morning. I like to do it anyways because I feel like it cleanses me. Some like it warm. I like it a little bit colder. I live in Arizona. Go figure. It pushes 100 degrees during the day. So I'm a big fan of lemon water. It's just refreshing. And I feel like it just hydrates me better, if that makes sense. Maybe one of you can chime in and say why. I tease a little bit about the shake. This is mudwater, reishi, cordyceps, lion's mane, all the great mushrooms. I put ashwagandha powder I get directly from India. Ashwagandha, just so you guys know, is a huge mega herb. Like, ginseng and ginkgo biloba were like the ones for brain, and they were all over about and touted about by doctors back in the day. Ashwagandha is just for overall immunity, health, huge anti-inflammatory properties, huge anti-cancer. You talk to any medical herbalist or doctors that like to do a hybrid practice of herb supplements and, regular mainstream science medicine, not ancient medicine or alternative medicine, even though it was the original medicine. Science-based medicine, they would swear by ashwagandha. A lot of them do. Not highly advertised, but we can go down that rabbit hole and talk about what's advertised versus what is not, and what's good for you versus what is not. Not all that's advertised is good for you. Shocker. I'm going to drink some of this lemon water because it's smelling so good. I was going to burn some sage, but it's a little warm out, so I think my spirit guide said, no, we're not going to find a lighter for you this morning. And like I said before, we're going to have Cartedius come out and tell us a little bit about the sea moss in a bit. I have my beautiful wizard staff that has rose quartz and copper wire wrapped around it. If you're into just doing any morning rituals, it doesn't have to be woo-woo rituals. I have to say, having a staff like this with rose quartz, which represents in the crystal world unconditional love. Crystals, just power our computers. They're on the mother chips, the circuit chips that run our computers, the brains of the computers. They are ultimately have silicone parts in it, and that is derivatives of crystal. Okay, so crystal is part of energetic frequencies. Everything in our body, when I was talking about negative ions, they're charged by energetic crystalline energies that are beyond our understanding fully yet, but a lot of things in science are still fully. beyond our understanding. But that's why it's hypothesized in the pursuit of science, just like things in the spiritual world are in the pursuit of greater truths and healing the collective. They're both good. They're both equally viable. It'd be nice if we come to a day where we bridge the divide and bring them both together. I think they call that alchemy. Alchemy isn't magic so much as bridging the divide between the artistic, spiritual, creative with the science, logical, and mathematical. That we live in a world where both exist, but they need to exist more in harmony together. That's just my 3 cents. Before Cartitas comes out here, I am going to drink this shot. I'm going to slowly drink this mushroom shake that has protein powder. If you're vegan like me, it's important to have lots of protein first thing in the morning, because if you're always feeling like, why am I sucking at not sticking to my workout routine? Frankly, you don't have the energy or protein. Your body's telling you, no, don't work out, because having protein already in your body before the workout means your fibers, the fascia of your muscle, the things that keep your muscles stretchy and limber, are not going to be able to repair as quickly. And you actually could stretch and really hurt something and tear a muscle if you don't have enough protein already in you. So, of course, I do plant-based protein. You purist vegans that already hate me because I'm only 95% vegan. And yes, I do have a steak from time to time. Not yet. 2.5 months in, I've been pure vegan. A friend made like an egg dish for me 1 or 2 times. I ate it to be polite. Again, I'm not trying to be obnoxious. I'm just trying to do right and do a little bit better day over day. So this is my plant-based protein. I put water in it this morning, and I swear to you, it's so much more energizing. It keeps me regular. I think I'm oversharing. Natural flow in all the ways that I don't even miss coffee. Sometimes for the communal aspect, I'll go get a coffee for a celebratory treat, because I see coffees now with all the sugars and stuff they put on it, almost like a dessert. If I did something really hard, because I also work on the weekends now, I'm a very busy lady, I'll get myself a celebratory iced coffee. In Arizona, you got to stay cool. This shake is so good. And I can taste all the kind of mineral, kind of almost muddy. They call it mud water for a reason. It tastes kind of muddy, but also earthy. Kind of like when you were a kid and you tried to taste your parents' coffee for a time. You're like, oh, what's that? We need to normalize the way and like how this tastes, because we know how much it benefits us. And I don't know, I love the smell of the earth, And if you want to put a little bit of mocha, like oat milk-based mocha or something in it, I love doing that. If you want to get a little bit of coffee, it's a good cheat, but you're not cheating yourself. You're still treating yourself. The gentleman that gave me the staff, you'd always say that, don't cheat yourself, treat yourself. I take that as treat yourself right, treat yourself aligned with your values and goals. And we talked about values and goals a bit last night, yes? It's good to define your values and goals coming into any ceremony or routine of self-care, right? So a good place to start is check out The Confidence Gap. It was written by a PhD doctor whose name escapes me because I have so many names on the brain right now. But it's called The Confidence Gap. And if you want to define your values and have confidence when you research anything, the news out there, the web, what you want to do for your body, if you just want to do a muscle test and say, hey, does this align with my values? Just hold your arm out, lightly push down at the wrist. A yes is if it stays stiff. A no is if it goes down. And your body can't lie. Your spirit body cannot lie. Your body knows better oftentimes more than your mind does. Wrap your head around that. It's true. So if you want to say, hey, you know what, is this around my value of organic beauty, inherent, intuitive beauty from the inside, like whatever the messaging is on Facebook or some other biased offender on social media. And if you're saying, hey, okay, so I saw this beauty ad for a brand, this is a line for organic beauty within. Oftentimes it's 80 to 90% no with a lot of beauty brands. Just be like, okay, that's it. Like, I'm not coming from a sense of lack anymore. I define my values. That's you. You're going to do this. I believe in you. It's not for you. You don't have to spend your money. And that's another way to indirectly cultivate abundance, is that you're not reaching for anything else because you're like a low vibrational spot in life where it's like out of lust, desire, shame. That's what Dr. David Hawkins, he's a PhD and also knighted by Queen Elizabeth when she was still with us, the lovely queen. Anything under 200 level, which is like the sacral chakra or below, that's what the frequencies align with, which they are beautiful. It's not about them being negated. It's that level of the dark shadow side of those chakras when they're not functioning. You're lacking creativity, you're lacking protection. Creativity is the sacral chakra, the sacral creative womb, and below that is the root sense of protection. If you don't have a sense of protection or creativity or imagination because you don't feel like you live in a safe place, you don't feel grounded, hence you should earth, take your shoes off, walk in the earth, figure out what you need to do next if you're not in that safe space. Listen to that and work on that. And there might be some drastic moves you have to take to rearrange your life in a way that will work for you, but it'll be well worth it. I wanted to hold off taking this shot of sea moss from Cartesius. I wanted to get a lime. I will hold off on doing that. But I hope everything I'm saying to you makes sense. Grounding is so important. If the first step is for you to visualize grounding yourself, there's no shame on that. We'll meet you with where you're at. Call out your animal totems, the ones that are grounded or any four-legged animals. It could be, I got this wooden carving of a bison or buffalo because they run rapid on Catalina Island. What a magical island right here in the U.S., right off the coast of California. There's buffaloes that roam that island. I took a tour. I got this as an animal totem for me about being grounded and being majestic and being seen, because buffaloes and bisons are big animals. They're hard to miss unless they're lying down and they look exactly like the brown bluffs they're laying in, the grass. And very easy to spot, and they're not afraid to be seen, and they're grounded, right? So I have this little animal totem, charged him, even though he's wood, by the power of the moon. This little ducky, I feel like, is my spirit animal totem. So we charged him by the moonlight, and he's looking like he's doing great. I just love ducks because what they symbolize is the duality of when you're in your element, out of water, they're waddling. They seem kind of awkward. They seem pretty easy to chase until they fly away because they're annoyed by you because you chase them. But in water, they're just so smooth and gliding. Then you look just beneath the surface and their little legs are like paddle, paddle, paddle. But also water just slickly rolls off the duck's back, right? Because they have these waterproof feathers and like this 2-layer protection with the plumage or the the undercoat or the down coat underneath. So ducks are magical creatures to me that I feel like have a lot of layers and personality. They're almost so funny to look at. Or like you see them bickering in the water, they'll peck at each other and stuff, and it's so cute. They're just so shamelessly themselves. And I think there's something interesting in duck spirit medicine for all of us to learn from. Maybe you could tell me what your favorite spirit animal is if I come to meet you someday. I think I might have told you a little bit more about this. This is the Rose Oracle deck. It's by Rebecca Campbell. I did speak to this last night. Important thing about her is that she talks about star seeds. If you ever felt like you're not of this planet, there's something to that. Don't want to get too woo-woo on you, but look up Rebecca Campbell. She's worth a Google because she talks about, coming home, homecoming. You believe in prior lives. If you ever had a psychic that told you had a prior life, she goes even further and talks about, interplanetary lives and stuff like that, and how our souls are always seeking to be one with the divine or the collective or earth or spirit or God, whichever you believe in. And then the art in this deck is so beautiful as well. So I highly encourage you guys to at least check that out. I think it's worth it. And for those of you who did miss the flower mandala, the flower pattern making with just flowers you might find in your yard, you could buy some at the store. I've done both. I loved making this with the flowers I found in the yard because it feels a little bit more wild and organic. Either way, even if you did it with fake flowers, it wouldn't lose its power at all because you did it with love and intention. And just so you know, like, color therapy is a thing. Invoking the color and looking at it is just a feast for the eyes. Oh, and I didn't even realize it. Even though I didn't have a flower from my garden to represent blue, the mat is blue and I have a pillow that's blue. My favorite color happens to be blue. So, okay, of course, my shake tumbler is blue. And yeah, you're taking it in as even a subconscious reminder that you want to heal yourself, all through up your supportive column, which is your spine. It literally holds you upright, and keeps all the organs protected. So just keep in mind be a little bit more tuned with how you're treating your spine and your back. If you do anything that hurts your back, even though you're known for doing that, working out, just listen to that and adjust. Ask a professional trainer how to do that. That might be helpful. And I think we're having our guest and our friend Cartesius meet us. Oh, and then my dog's coming out to me too. Hi, Gizmo, come on. Hello. We were just talking about sea moss and how you get it sustainably sourced from friends from Jamaica. My dog was going to drink the sea moss because I think she knows she needs some.
Yes.
Sister, do you mind telling us a little bit about it? Because I didn't want to have this shot until you came out here.
Oh my gosh, this is so great. And so instead of coffee, the coffee gives you a nice boost of energy, but then you drop.
Mhm.
With sea moss shots, what it does is give you a sustainable energy level. And it's good for not just us, but what it does is we as beings, we're composed of 102 elements. And sea moss will give you 92 of those elements that you're missing. So what does that mean? We all have different levels, like through our mommies, through birth, things like that, things that we get from our mother's umbilical cord, the environment, stress, all these things can get rid of minerals that we needed or that we're in need of. And so what CMOS does is it goes in and intricately goes in those spaces, and it fills those spaces and gives you that energy, and it gives you antioxidants. It's a lot of like peptides, things that are going to add to your skin, youthful. So this is good for anti-aging. It's good for your hair. It's good for everything. It's good for
it gives your skin almost like a glow. Right?
It does. It's good for radiation also, with the Earth's environment and things going on.
So you'll be radiant minus the radiation.
There you go. We don't want that. And for your animals, it also helps out, or I should say with us, it helps out with like your lungs, with like upper respiratory, things like that. So with babies or like children or any animals, if your animals are experiencing like any allergies or anything, any
like my
mucus comes
cat,
out.
you gave my cat some sea moss, and it
Totally.
gives mucus a lot.
Totally, yes. And it also gives them an added benefit of just self-love for themselves. So, yes.
Yay! And on the full moon, I was just explaining we have 48 hours to supercharge good morning rituals and healthier habits. Sea moss should definitely be incorporated in that. And then another tip you gave me was putting lime juice in it just to drop the taste. But what I was trying to explain is that even though it smells like beautiful, like fresh aquamarine, life, it doesn't taste as strong as it smells. But they have to remember you're getting all of those minerals and nutrients that are always depleted through many different things, not only the environment, but also maybe the pharmacological pills that you're taking that has heavy metals and stuff. Does that help?
Yes, it does help out with heavy metals. Yes, absolutely. Helps out with inflammation, things like that. Things that you're diagnosed with. Like I was diagnosed with like fibromyalgia. I go to the doctor and get blood work, and they could not find any inflammation. And so I was cleared of inflammation. This is just from being on CMOS since 2017. How my body's cleared of the inflammation.
6 years. And your story goes even deeper than that. I mean, you were on like 19 medications, and you almost, I don't want to overshare your story.
No, it's fine.
It's hard to walk. And I was just explaining, doing all this stuff, grounding, the right water, just keeping track of everything, looking at the back of labels, but just trusting your sources, trusting your friends, and knowing where it's coming from. I didn't tell you this, Cartesius, but I had really bad arthritis in my knees, and they crack every time I go up the stairs. The last couple of weeks, I turned a point, and I don't hear the cracking anymore.
Yeah, it totally gets rid of that.
Okay,
it does. It totally gets rid of that.
Arthritis is a thing that it can help.
It helps out a lot. Helps. It just helps out with just being calm in stressful situations. Helps you to manage your stress. Helps you to manage just your being, so that you remember where you come from, and you feel at ease. The whole point of it is to help your body be at ease.
Go from a state of disease, be at ease, be at peace.
be at peace.
We all need a little bit more of that, yeah.
Yes, so important.
Well, that was delicious. So good. Anything else that you like to do during moon ceremony, sister, that you want to share with us?
I do it. I like to do a reading, like Stephanie's doing here.
I have some hoppe. I haven't done any yet, but I thought it would be better for the morning because at night, kind of want to go to sleep. Hoppe kind of sometimes gets me hopped up. It only lasts a couple minutes, but I know you do this too. Sananga for the eyes. It clears glaucoma, cataracts. I just love it because personally, it lets me feel immediately or know intuitive knowing whether I'm in alignment with my divine masculine, divine feminine. Because balance is all about what you're feeling within, so you can reflect that out in your outer world without worrying about what other people are thinking. And I feel like this helps me with the Amazon.
It does help.
Medicine.
The plant medicine is so it's what I use instead of medicine.
Right.
Along with herbs, things like that, sea moss, things like that. So it's definitely my go-to in the morning, my go-to midday. Just whenever I feel like I need a boost. It's definitely not. It's not. Doesn't allow you to become addicted to it. It's made with natural herbs, tree, natural herbs, and tree.
Tobacco ash,
tobacco ash,
and different like one could be mint, and they give different blends from different tribes. There's hundreds of tribes in the Amazon, and they all have their own proprietary tribe blend. But then they have different medicinal blends that are good for allergies, for asthma, and you blow it through your mouth in this curipe from your mouth up into whatever side you feel you're lacking more in. So say you're female and you feel like you are more masculine, you can start on your feminine side, it's your left side, and then go masculine. I've been feeling more goddess energy lately, finding my tribe, being called home and everything. So I start on my right side, divine masculine, and both sides feel different. The only thing you'll feel is that it kind of lights up the brain like horseradish. And I don't know about you, Cortudis, but Pape when I'm feeling disaligned or feeling challenged, because it could be either. It could be positive, but I get the intense energies when I feel like I'm coming through a crossroads where a big decision needs to be made, and it takes me to my very first childhood trauma, like when I was thrown in the deep end and I was taking swimming lessons and I wasn't sure if I wanted to take it. So I got this sense of how my brain felt when I thought I was going to drown as a kid. I don't know if you could tether that to that, but it's not to scare you guys, because if anything, it's just the emotion. I know I'm not there, I'm very cognizant that I'm not there. But if it lights up like that, because sometimes it can go very smooth and it's like, oh, I feel one with the universe, immediately you feel that. But then when it lights up kind of like a Christmas tree with all the lights blinking and going around and everything, it's kind of like attention, something's off. So you can never master Hape. It feels different every time you take it. Do you want to maybe share some of your experiences with Hape?
Yeah, with my experiences, it literally just, it puts me in a state of like peace. It connects me to my higher self. And I feel at ease, and I'm able to sink into the love, the unconditional love. I feel so supported. I feel like it's like, I feel like the universe is like literally giving me a cosmic hug once I take the Hape. I've what it does is just help me just to still my thoughts, and it just stops my thoughts, and helps me just to anchor into my heart center.
That is a really good call out. One thing I have to say with Hape is when you take it, it literally lets your brain integrate as one of the important organs of the body, but doesn't let it stay in its ego like the only part of the body. It integrates your mind in rather than get you in all this heady space where you feel like you know all. It's just like, okay, your brain's the organ that needs to be treated through healing, love, being attuned with your body, chakra work if you're into that, just health practices if you're into that. Everyone has a morning ritual, right? Whether it's even if you choose to sleep in, that's a morning ritual as well. Hit the snooze again. I know I've been there, What I love the most about this is that I can take it several times a day. There's days where I just know intuitively I don't need to take it and I don't miss it. There's no missing in this. So the most important thing is when you do any of these plant medicines, shakes, herbs, supplements, is to know that you're protected, you're supported, and none of this is to incite addiction or addictive habits. It's for love, right? And cultivating a sense of inner knowing. So what I like to do is hold it over my heart, think about my intentions for the day. I have a beautiful super full moon charge energy. I'll start on my nice inside. And I'm going to hold my breath at the top of the breath, hold my tongue at the top of my mouth so it doesn't blow my mouth, so I don't choke. Breathe lightly, breathe in, hold. Wow, that was a lot smoother than it was yesterday. Yesterday, there was a lot of amped up emotions. We're moving. We're going to be a traveling road show soon. And funnily enough, while I was doing this, sister, girlfriend of mine called and said, hey, there's a certain stock I want you to invest in. I had this vision a whole year ago. I woke up and it was like, whoa, that stock you invested $1 in and $100. And just because I was doing this moon sermon, I'm telling you, abundance happens when the universe bends itself to you. You don't have to worry about how. The universe will take care of the how. Your girlfriend called, remember, me and her talking about taking our spiritual practice and healing on the road. And I'm like, how am I going to get this RV? How are we going to get this RV? We had it on our vision boards. We had it in our minds. We want to go out and take this to local towns. Meet people where they're at, because I know it's even a privilege to be able to get out of your town and even go out in nature. We found this out working with the National Land Stewards, taking people out into nature from the cities and hike and camp and not worry about their everyday lives. That's a privilege to not worry. So my girlfriend called when I was setting up last night's moon ritual, sister, and she's like, invest in the stock. It's been reported in the UK that, things are going to change with the vaccine. And, it's not going to be the jab anymore. I'm like, well, I don't believe in anything in the vaccine, but she's like, it's going to go up. But I'm like, hey, if it's out of love, something out of badness turns into something for love and becomes RV, then we can spread the message about people being integrated more with herbs and natural medicines rather than just listening to the doctor. You got to listen to your heart. You got to listen to what the high vibrational foods are telling you, the sea moss, the plants, earthing. It's a documentary on YouTube you can watch right now. It's called Earthing. This family healed their child that had all these autoimmune disorders just by putting her feet in the soil. Negative ions are released. It got rid of the free radicals that are oxidants because it creates antioxidants in the body. Just 30 minutes, feet in the ground. Cartias gets this because she does her yoga, or ecstatic yoga and dance and all these other different things. I get it just because I choose to take off my shoes when taking my dog in the park. If there's anything you can do right now and you're like, hey, I don't have the resources or money, Stephanie, take your shoes off and just go for a walk and be in nature. Just go for it. Your body will thank you. Oh, sure. So yeah, maybe we'll get our RV sooner than we thought.
We know we're going to get it sooner than we thought. We're just waiting for the answer. We're not anticipating when it's going to come. We know it's going to come. We get up, and we're doing all these different rituals, these different things, and so that we're ushering in and manifesting just what we want. We're creating our own reality, and that's just by staying in our heart space and being in a place of unconditional love. No matter what happens, no matter what it looks like,
yes,
go to your heart and chest.
Okay, and then we talked about this last night, didn't we? Like, we're two beings of unconditional love, and it's all of our birthright, too. You, too, can practice unconditional love, but the theme was, how do you practice unconditional love in a conditional world that puts all these conditions and makes you play the game true. And stuff? So it's about accepting and allowing yourself and who you are. Accepting other people where they're at. You don't have to allow them to do anything to you. That's the second parameter. People you should let in your inner circle, they should go past the first benchmark and make the allowing benchmark. Is this something I allow myself to do and I'm allowing them? If I don't allow myself to do it because I defined my values, don't allow them into your life. Just don't do it. And if you allow them and you brought them closer in and say you want to cohabitate with them, it's because you're in alignment. Are we at the right pace? Are we aligned on goals? Can we build a team and build something big and stronger for the collective out of unconditional love together? That's alignment. High vibrational vibes going on here, folks. You have those three things going on, the abundance will just come because you're grateful. You're grateful for the commune. You're grateful for the collective that you're building and you're ushering in. And then the abundance just comes. I'm seeing it happen in real time. So I'm sharing my testimonial with you right now because it's happening in real time as I'm saying this. And we feel it. We feel it. So I hope you feel it too. If you just take one of these things, these tools in your utility belt that is within you, within your divine power to exercise and cultivate, do it. You'd just be so much better for it. Ashe.
Ashe.
Namaste. Thank you for joining us. And whatever you do, just do it with love and seek peace in your life. Thank you.
Ashe.
Until next moon.
Next moon.
Next moon.
Have fun.
Have fun.
I'm learning.